So to field strip and disassemble the Reaper, the first step, at least for me, is I'll take off the dust cover, exposing the piston cup and the op rod. Second thing I'll do, and I'll show you how this Ambi bolt catch works. You can see I have positive control of the weapon on the pistol grip. And using my trigger finger, I can use it around my knuckle joint here, and I can push it in. And all I got to do is simply, with my left hand, grab the charging handle, pull it to the rear, and it locks the bolt. Then I can push the charging handle forward. Then I come back to the op rod and piston cup assembly. All I'm going to do is hold the piston cup, take the op rod, pull it straight to the rear, and it pulls right out. Then I can just remove the piston cup and exposes the gas regulator for cleaning and or inspection. So I'll give you a little bit more of a close-up here of how this whole charging handle operates. You can see there's a track machined into the upper receiver assembly and the corresponding grooves into the charging handle itself, and it just simply slides back and forward. Very little effort. It's a very smooth system. And here, like I was saying earlier, with the detent and the plunger, so you can see it moving. Push it forward and it locks in place, and it takes a little bit more effort to break it free, and a little bit too much effort, and I sent the bolt home. That's okay, since we're gonna take apart the upper and lower receivers just like you would any standard AR-15 M4. So we're gonna pop out the rear push pin, pop out the front push pin, and now our upper and lower receivers are separated. So here you can get a better view of how this whole ambidextrous magazine catch works. Basically, it's another bolt catch on the right hand side of the weapon, and there's a transfer bar that's located as machined into a corresponding slot into the upper receiver. And all it does is, it doesn't matter if you're pushing the left one or the right one, they'll correspond right in front of the trigger or the hammer, and actuate together. You can see when you put a magazine in, locks it up in place. And then again, using your trigger finger or using your thumb on the left hand side, actuating the bolt catch. All we're going to do is simply pop the bolt out. Now the bolt itself is another design that's fairly unique in the fact that using the piston, the key is actually a one piece design and machined into the carrier itself. It's not a two-piece. And just for comparison, I busted out one of my SR25 bolt carrier group, so you can see the difference. Obviously, the key is staked in normal fashion to the bolt carrier. And then I also pulled out a DPMS LR308. So pretty much the DPMS and Knights Armament carriers are almost identical. A few machining differences, but definitely you can see the difference in the Reaper's carrier and key, as it's all a one-piece design. Now, a lot of people have complained about the Reapers and the magazine fit issue, saying that the magazines are too loose. I will say it is looser than a SR25, and you can see a little bit of the play in the PMag there. But to me, if it functions fine, I don't have any issues, which I don't now after they did the magazine modification. I can live with a little bit of play in the magazine, within the magazine well. just for comparison, I have one of my SR25 lower receivers with a PMAG inserted, and here you can see there's almost no play on the SR25 and the PMAG. And just to round things out, we'll throw in a DPMS LR308. So there's a little bit more play, but still not as much as the Reaper. So for the amount of play, I'd have to say, obviously the SR25 is going to be the least amount of play, followed by the LR308, and then finally followed by the Reaper. So with all three of them lined up, you can kind of get an overview and see they're quite similar. You know, a few minor differences. First, I'll point out that I absolutely despise how DPMS did their magazine catch, and that there's no provision for a shroud around it. One, I think you could inadvertently drop your mag, you know, by chance. I mean, it's unlikely, but I think the probability is there compared to having the shroud like around the DPMS, or excuse me, the LWRC, or fully encapsulated, kind of like the SR25. Out of all three of them, I like the Reapers the best, simply because I can slide my this finger forward and easily find it and depress it. The SR25 is good to go too, but the little ridge here kind of precludes from just easily feeding my finger forward and pressing it. Now I know some of the new lowers, especially on the EMC, I've seen a couple different versions, but it seems like most of them now on the SR25s, Knights will actually machine this part out so it more mimics what the Reaper has. So all in all, I definitely am happy with this, with the Reaper. You know, with this 1 in 10 inch twist. You know, I've had good luck shooting anything from 147 grain ball all up to Hawaii to 175 grain match. And I said I probably on average holding around a minute or less accuracy. You know, most of the time I'm pretty anal with a lot of my precision rifles, that I keep accurate round counts in the books, exactly know how many rounds I have downrange. This one I'm not really doing that. This is kind of more my, you know, I usually group my rifles into either it's a precision rifle or a blaster. This one's kind of filling both. I'm sort of using it as a blaster and a precision rifle, so I'm not too concerned about the round count right now. I'm not feeding it only match ammo. I've been shooting some surplus 7.62, such as some of the Radway Green. I mean, I'm not shooting any corrosive or crappy ammo out of it, but you know, to me, I'll consider Radway Green surplus. But still, it shoots fine. It's, you know, even with the Radway Green, I'm still holding probably about a minute and a half, you know, 2 away if I get some oddball rounds coming out of it. But overall, I'm very happy with the Reaper. At some point in the future, I'll probably add another 16-inch Reaper, just because I like to have things in match pairs. And I'll probably add a 20-inch Reaper sometime in the future as well. So hopefully this gave you some more insight into the Reaper, gave you a little more close-up views. I know nobody on YouTube had done a close-up video, and it was probably far beyond time that I actually sit down and do a tabletop. You know, if I misspoke or missed something, or if there's something particular somebody wants to see, you know, leave a comment and I'll come back and I'll do it again. I'll hit something that I missed, or you know, if you want to see something really up close, how something actually functions on the range, let me know and I'll do my best to make it happen. All right, that's it. Out.